Good afternoon, everybody.
Love you, brother!
Thank you.
So first of all, I would like to thank everybody here from the bottom of my heart for all the work that you've been doing all along. I've been watching from a distance from British Columbia and watching what's been happening and transpiring in Calgary, and I'm really grateful for each and every one of you for the work that you've been doing, spreading the message to your families and friends, bringing attention to what is happening and transpiring here in our country and around the globe. So I put my hands up to you today. And my intention is not to offend anybody with my words today. Okay, so my intention is not to offend anybody with my words today, and if I do offend anybody, I apologize in advance. I would like to acknowledge that we are in the traditional territory of the Tsuut'ina and the Siksika people.
Territory of the
600.
My ancestry is of Cree and German descent.
Yeah!
My name is Medicine Bear, and I also carry the name Speaks the Truth.
Yeah.
I'm a First Nations artist, and I come from a long lineage of artists in my family. And I just want to share myself and my people have survived one of the world's largest genocides. And I'm standing here today in front of you, so I'm a survivor of this mass genocide that took place here in North America.
God bless you!
Myself and my family, we've been fighting against this system for generations. I've been on the front line for the last 16 years, trying to bring attention to social justice and environmental issues that humanity has been facing. The system that came to North America was originally devised to oppress the people of Europe. So when I went over to Europe, I wanted to go and find out where the system came from. So when I went over there, I found out that the first initial residential schools were devised in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And they created these residential schools to assimilate the people over there. And when they perfected that system, they came over to North America, what we call Turtle Island, and came here to try to, well, they call it the doctrine of discovery. They showed up to our lands and they just laid claim to the lands and started to use their genocidal tactics to wipe us out so they could take control of the land. Today I really feel bad for everybody because everybody is now starting to feel the wrath that my people have felt since contact. They're now being affected. They're coming after your children and yourselves now. And the system is now coming for your children. So I ask any military or any police or any three-letter agencies that are standing here in the crowd today, or anyone out on social media, the police or the military that hear this talk, the message that I have to share with you today is we need your help. We really need them to stand up because they swore an allegiance to protect all of our rights and freedoms as Canadians. So I ask, if there's any police out in the crowd today, I ask you to find it in your heart, any military to find it in your heart, to come and stand on our side. We desperately need your help right now.
Where are you? Come stand with us! Do your job!
I don't want to go on and repeat what other people have repeated on this stage. We have a prophecy in my culture. We have a prophecy, and it talks about the completion of the medicine wheel. And they say that the way that we will find world peace as humanity is by completing the medicine wheel. And that's bringing the four races, the yellow, the red, the black, and the white, bringing them back together to work in unison. So we...
Yeah! Together we're stronger!
We must break down religious barriers and borders and begin to unite. Because at this moment we're facing, we're racing towards a cliff in a car with no brakes. And if we take a hard right, we can start to implement technologies that we do have at our fingertips to start to reverse the devastating effects that we have caused to Mother Earth. If we take a hard left, we're moving towards the transhumanist agenda.
Yeah.
And if we speed off the cliff and we go straight off the cliff, we're facing extinction.
We're coming and we're not going to stop. And they're falling, man. They got no footing.
Sorry,
The
everybody.
central bankers are falling
Okay,
big
so-
time.
Multiply, not divide.
So like I was sharing earlier, it's been a passion of mine for a number of years to bring attention to environmental and social justice issues that we are facing. The system that was brought to our homelands here on Turtle Island, it's all about take, and never give back. And as First Nations people, we were taught to always think 7 generations into the future. If it wasn't going to be sustainable for the next 7 generations, then we were unable to do that type of development. And when I went to the United Nations in 2014 for an art show for International Women's Day, my message to some of the elite that were coming by looking at my art piece, I was saying to them that they have no care for the future because they're extracting resources in the most unsustainable manner, that they have no care for the future generations. Currently, I'm working on a sustainable building and land development project. And through this research, the last 6 years of throughout the research, I've been finding that there's technologies that we have at our fingertips to get rid of big oil. And so the project that I'm working on right now, we're going to prove that we can build a fully self-sustainable house for less than $40,000. And
Yeah.
with budget appliances, we're not using any type of lumber as well. There'll be a greenhouse attached to the building, producing fresh produce all year round. It's a fully self-contained ecosystem. So my message, I guess I want to leave with everybody today is that we must unite as humanity, and we must hold the elite accountable for these technologies that they have buried. Because if we don't begin to implement these technologies and hold them accountable, we are on the path to extinction. So at this moment, I ask each and every one of you, well, you probably won't be able to remember this, but if any of you are on the We Will Be Free Calgary.
We will be free Canada.
Okay, if anyone is on the Telegram website, you can see my website. It's called kigiwakfps.com, or you can also reach out to me through medicinebeararts.com and see about more about what we're working on with these projects. So I ask people to start to do research and look into these type of technologies that we have. Get a hold of your members of parliament and speak with them and pressure them to start to implement these technologies immediately, because we are on a path to extinction if we do not change our ways. Thank you very much for listening, everyone.
Yeah. We love you, brother. Enough is enough.
Thanks, Jaden. Okay, we have